he's going beyond to say that there has been an industry level manipulation, which means there is some centralized system which is being used to manipulate these records. Now, the response on the other side has been that, look, they are crybabies, they lose elections, and whenever they win elections, they don't raise such issues. Whenever they lose, they come and raise such issues. If EC wants, it can investigate. But then what seems to be happening here is a kind of a stonewalling. All politicians work towards, their ultimate objective is to politicize an issue. In that sense, why should you single out Rahul?
Hello and welcome. I'm Srinivasan and this is Talking Sense with Srini. Dropping the much-awaited H-bomb, leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi has alleged a massive oath theft in Haryana assembly elections last year. Rahul Gandhi says all the exit polls had predicted a Congress victory in the Haryana election, but the results threw up a BJP win. However, the BJP slammed Rahul Gandhi for wasting citizens this time when the Election Commission has asked Rahul Gandhi why the Congress cadres did not raise this matter earlier. Joining us to decode further is our editor-in-chief, Mr. S. Srinivasan. Thank you very much indeed for your time, sir.
Yeah, hi Vijay.
Hello. So Rahul Gandhi has once again launched a barrage of allegations against the Election Commission. This is Chori 3.0, he calls it.
The hydrogen bomb.
That's right, yeah. But how does this round of charges differ from the earlier, Chori 1.0 and 2.0?
Yeah, okay. So finally he has exploded the much-awaited hydrogen bomb. The hydrogen bomb has been, it's considered the most powerful of all, even more power than nuclear bomb. So it's considered extremely powerful bomb. It has been tested, not yet used. And if you have seen the Oppenheimer movie,
that's
you
right.
must have seen, he was asked to make that after a successful... Okay, let's get back to our own bomb. Well, what is the essential difference? He demonstrated in two places. One assembly segment in Karnataka, Mahadevpura. I think he said that how the votes were stolen. That was his one argument. And the second is Alan. Again, he took an assembly constituency there. Here it was a parliamentary segment. Now, what he has done in this current case is they expanded the scope. And what he's saying is it's not just one or two constituencies, entire Haryana election, what he considers could have been a landslide for the Congress party. They have been defeated. And he feels that the defeat has happened because of what he calls otherwise in popular parlance, vote chori, theft of legitimate vote, which otherwise he thinks Congress party should have got. So that's why this in a way is a big hydrogen bomb. And he doesn't stop at that. He also goes further to say that similar thing could have happened in, Maharashtra elections. Yeah. And also by the same corollary, he's also pointing out what could have happened in Madhya Pradesh. And to some extent, when he actually didn't stop at all this, he went further to say Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, and Chief Election Commissioner Ganesh Kumar, they all are hand in gloves. In that sense, it's actually what he said and the allegations made are much wider in scope and much bigger.
Going by what he says, the numbers, Rahul Gandhi claims there are 25 lakh fake voters in Haryana in a voter population of about 2 crores. Correct?
1 in 8.
Yeah. So that one person's photo was used 22 times. From a technical and a procedural standpoint, tell me how is it even possible? Is it even realistic with the kind of digital infrastructure the Election Commission must be having?
Yeah, so let's look at what are the kind of allegation. One allegation is name, age, picture, multiple times. Same name, age change, picture same, appearing, multiple times. Different names, same picture, appearing different times. Same house, and more than 100 people in a, address is shown that same house. And not just this, in multiple booths. So which means an voter ID card with a picture, with a particular name, it's repeated in different booths with different parents' name. Somewhere the name of the father differs. And in this case, the one case which he particularly showed as the first case was actually a Brazilian
model,
model whose name figures in the electoral rolls of Haryana. So basically, he's trying to point out various anomalies
Yeah.
which exist in the voter list of Haryana. Now, your question is, or is this possible? Now, the thing here is, if electoral roll is done the way it should be, now it's very difficult that such thing would happen. There could be some margin of error. There could be some errors. There's some entries could be duplicate. We know people who are transferred out of a particular constituency or a state who migrated, or somebody who has died in the family, or a new enrollment of a person who has just attained the age of voting. All these things, if added correctly, such things shouldn't happen. But here it's not just that. He's going beyond to say that there has been a manipulation, he calls it an industry level manipulation, which means there is some centralized system which is being used to manipulate these records. That's what he's saying. Now, whether it's possible or not, I don't know, because that's what he's saying. It's a matter of investigation. But what if the normal process of election commission, it's very difficult to do such things, because when the enrollment happens, then it is not just checked by the BLO, that is block level
That's right. That is a
officer,
three-tier mechanism.
three-tier mechanism, and also the block level agent of a particular party. He will also come to know, and then a complaint could be made to the returning officer.
Yeah.
So there are a number of layers in that. So it is a bit inconceivable that such a thing could happen in a normal process. But what he is trying to point out is not a normal process. And this is not the first allegation. He made the same allegation after that, they examined one assembly segment in Karnataka. So he is making that same allegation that there seems to be some centralized system, because there he also indicated how the deletions happened within seconds, how so many deletions happened in a minute. So he was trying to say that this is not possible unless it's some software or some automated system was used. That's what he's trying to say.
No, but why can't the election commission investigate into this? And does the EC has the relevant tools and independence to investigate itself?
Yeah, of course. If EC wants, it can investigate. But then what seems to be happening here is a kind of a stonewalling. The response, surprisingly, the response started coming in on Rahul's press conference, even while he was addressing the press conference. Now, happened to see some TV channels which was flashing, according to sources from
I saw some EC official must have
EC
spoken to
official
them.
must have
Yeah.
spoken. They must have spoken to them EC
It's
official.
more of a very rhetorical response, isn't it?
Not rhetorical. In a way, what they're throwing the rule book at Rahul. They're saying that, okay, you should have gone and filed
Why
a
didn't you
petition.
raise it up earlier?
Yeah, you could.
Go
And
file an affidavit.
what were the question was also asked, what were the booth level agents of your party doing? Were they sleeping? They could have pointed out to these things. So some of these questions were also posed to Rahul. He did answer. He said, the
But I'm sure
electoral
that also
rolls-
shows the Congress's inefficiency in a way at the booth level, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way. So I'll come to that. There are a lot of complexities involved in that. Yes, you can certainly call Congress party, the way it is structured, whether their booth level officers or agents are so smart, or they were able to, you can always point out to that thing. But that's not the point here. If somebody complains, as an authority, the election commission is well equipped to investigate and go to the bottom of it, because it is in the interest of the election commission. It is in their mandate to to conduct a free and fair poll.
That's right,
It
yeah.
is in the self-interest.
It's a credibility of
and
the EC at its stake.
credibility of the EC, and also a democracy. They are the one who are supposed to uphold the democratic traditions of this country, and therefore it is in their own good that if any complaint comes. So there are two ways of dealing with it. If the complaint comes, you say, okay, I'll look into it. The other way to say, just dismiss it. So this is what seems to be happening. You see, EC is not even taking Rahul's allegation at its face value. They are, this time there has been no press conference. Last time you saw CEC actually holding a press conference. This time they haven't, but the same kind of response has come. You saw a cabinet minister coming on air and immediately retorting and saying, look, Shailaja Kumari, Haryana, own party leader of Congress, she herself said the party is going to lose because of internal fights. So, these kind of reasons have been given. But I feel that if EC wants to probe this, they can. For instance, at least one thing which political parties and people like Yogendra Yadav, who've been very closely monitoring this, have been saying, why don't they use duplication software? Why do they are reluctant to use that software? Because it can easily find out. Rahul also repeated that
That's
today.
exactly,
If
yeah.
the same picture is appearing say, several times, you run the software, you can delete it. If the same name is appearing in several places, you can at least you can find out which are these names, and these things are possible. So the question is, they are not they could have addressed these questions. The other thing specifically he pointed out is last in the previous Mahadevpura, there was one question of that zero address which came up. So the chief election commissioner pointed out that these guys even don't know that actually we are serving the poor. Somebody who's living below a lamppost or under a bridge or on the roadside, those people are also enrolled by us, and these are the people who have their address shown as zero. He actually demonstrated, saying that there are instances where a person who's
Sitting in a living in
yeah,
a bungalow.
is living in a proper house, not just a house, a proper place. So I think, therefore, this press conference was quite significant. It was able to point out poke several holes in the EC's conduct of this.
Do you think Rahul Gandhi is genuinely exposing the flaws within the system, or you see that the Bihar elections around the corner? Maybe is it some kind of a political strategy to sort of cast aspersions on the very umpire of the Indian elections?
Well, it's a mixed bag. See, all politicians work towards. I mean, their ultimate objective is to politicize an issue. In that sense, why should you single out Rahul? Rahul is trying to do the same thing will all the politicians do. And on the eve of polls, and tomorrow, 6th is the first phase
Phase of
of
elections, yeah.
election there, and I mean that's why he has timed it. He has chosen to explode the bomb a day before. So in that sense, you can certainly say. But on the other hand, I feel that the problems which he is pointing out, it's worth at least taking note of. The election commission, should at least acknowledge and say, okay, we'll look into it. And they are not saying anything like this. There are other things which I would like to point out that, uh, you see, there are two things happening now. This whole momentum about the so-called electoral malpractices. I'm saying so-called because it's still an allegation in many ways, is spreading certainly. Now, SIR after Bihar is going to happen. It has started now in Tamil Nadu. It is now going to happen also in West Bengal. Now, there is a question mark, and these are opposition ruled states, non-BJP ruled states, and they are worried whether there'll be repetition of what happened in Bihar. Now, as far as election commission is concerned, they have given a clean sheet to themselves, saying that look, everything is fine, hunky dory, nothing wrong. Nobody came to object when the final roll was printed. That's what they're saying. But on the other hand, Yogendra Yadav points out that no objection was invited after the final roll, but after the initial roll, draft roll, there were many objections, and those were not answered. That's what he's saying. We have to look at this, the Bihar numbers. Those who registered as voter in Bihar was 8.22 crore before the SIR was started. After the SIR, now registered voters are 7.41 crore. So about 81 lakh people are now out of the electoral roll, and most of them are women. So that's one thing. Now, is it that the number of voters have reduced? I mean, that's a question. Now, the same name appearing in more than one place has gone up. The other thing, these are the finding of the SAR. Many people who studied this are pointing out names duplicating in the same constituency is about 5.24 lakh. Same name appearing in different constituency, 63 lakh. Number of people registered in the same address, which is in numbers 100 or more, so about 4.56 lakhs. So all these questions does indicate, in a way, it's purification or clearing of the role. But on the other hand, also the question is how these things are happening. Why 100 or more such, same person is giving same address. why such malpractice are happening. So you can also always argue that, look, election commissions is doing this exercise to clean up all this, but it also raises the question that why such things are being done in a hurry. There are some back of the book calculations done for Tamil Nadu. Before coming to that, I'll tell you why it has become so crucial now. Because the elections have become very close. If you see in Bihar, the vote percentage of both NDA and Mahagathbandhan is been same actually.
Yeah.
And there's only a difference of few.
Percentage points.
Yeah, no, the vote share was the same.
Mm-hmm.
The actual vote, which is very, very, very less. So it's a very close contest. So any shift here or there. So, for instance, there are about 113 constituencies where the victory margin was, very less in thousand, in thousands only. In 28 constituencies, the margin was less than 1,000. And so, if you remove 2,000 to 3,000 votes in some of these constituencies, the election may change either way. Now, if you could do another calculation, suppose there are 243 constituencies. As per Election Commission's own admission, about 47 lakh voters have been removed from the electoral roll. On an average, it works out about, if you had to divide 47 lakhs with the number of assembly seats, it's about 19,000 votes each constituency. I mean, on an average, if 10, 15,000 votes go here and there, it may affect a whole lot of results. And that is why I think, these political parties, especially Congress, is worried. Now, the response on the other side has been that, look, they are crybabies, they lose elections. And whenever they win elections, they don't raise such issues. Whenever they lose, they come and raise such issues. This is what Rijiju, Union Minister, today said at a press conference.
One last question there, sir. What's the way forward? So, Rahul Gandhi has slammed the EC over the EVMs. Now he is talking about the fake voter rolls and all that. So, but what is it happening? So, you've done, vote Chori 1.0 and then 2.0 and then 3.0. But what are you planning to do at the end of the day? So, is it going to be a mass mobilization of sorts? Are the opposition leaders with you? What's the kind of political messaging that he's trying to convey?
Yeah, so it's really depends now how the opposition wants to take it forward, whether they want to fight it out politically or they want to fight it out legally. So far, Congress party, even today, Rahul, after
It seems
all
like he's going to
this,
fight only politically.
it seems, because today, after all this, he didn't say anything particularly what he just said Gen Z should be aware of all this because it's actually their votes which is being stolen. That's what he said. And which Rijiju immediately responded saying that, look, he's trying to kind of, trigger a certain,
That's right, yeah. Some kind of a crisis
He's
in India.
provoking them. I mean, that was the word.
Gen
he
Z
was trying to-
protests toppled the
so-
government in
Yeah,
Nepal.
so he's trying to provoke them, and it's very dangerous. That's what he said. But really, if he wants to mobilize political opinion on that and he wants to build it, then maybe we have to see how does it does. But so far, it appears that he is not willing to take any other route other than raising this issue constantly in public forums. And today you got an immediate response from Maharashtra, and then already Mamata Banerjee has actually dug her heels. She's training all her booth level agents.
That's right,
In
yeah.
fact, Trinamool Party is holding a parallel session for all of them. Our correspondent reported from West Bengal how they're trying to do it. In Tamil Nadu, the chief minister has become
I think
extremely
Dravidian parties are
alert.
too strong in their booth
They
level.
are, but then even then they want to be alert because you have to remember that the third largest immigrants come and work in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
And they run into lakhs, about I think 35 to 40 lakhs who come. So therefore they are saying that we have to be vigilant. We want to see how it actually goes. So interesting. How do they take it forward? Whether he just stopped certain allegation, as Rahul has often been accused of playing this start and stop kind of politics. Whether he's consistent, whether he's able to push this further, one has to wait and see.
Thank you very much, sir. Very insightful talking to you.
Thank you.